What's up, folks?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Backwoods stream. I'm Day 9.
And I'm DJ Wheat, and we are about to hop into LiquidRet versus EGHuk in some of the oddest of places. I ran into Huck in the bathroom just now. I said, "How you doing?" You got,
Wow.
sometimes it's the best place to actually chat with pro gamers.
I've run into Huck 4 times. He literally uses the bathroom between every single match. Very common for players who are under an extreme amount of pressure in these sorts of events.
He's not feeling so hot. I don't know if you guys noticed, but during the matchup in which he faced off versus Violet, we saw him several times actually, coughing and having to cease his play. But also, for those wondering, the DeMuslim game that was just here, I believe it is DeMuslim versus DRG.
Yep.
Yeah, game 3, it's being played on the other stream now, so they had to keep the schedule going. Our apologies for that, and we are in the game, so let's take it.
And it looks like there are only 2 possibilities for the map. It was Daybreak and Metalopolis, and as you might imagine, Huck's choice on the map as the higher seed was Daybreak. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see him downvote Metalopolis at some point, given the fact that that is Rhett's favorite map in the whole wide world.
Now, I mean, Rhett is a guy that we just got to watch over the course of the past week, and we had a situation where, we got to see Rhett really, really kind of excel in his Zerg versus Protoss. But so far, his record, Sean, unfortunately, it has not been very good at this event. And so Rhett still is dealing with these levels of inconsistency that even he himself can't quite figure out, like why he has such dramatic swings. And, a victory versus Huck, I don't even know that it would get him out of the group, but at least it would put him in a better position mentally as he moves forward. He still has, of course, the 2 players that come in from the open bracket. So I worry about Rhett, though, because he played so great. You know what he's capable of, but it just sucks when you see him, narrowly lose those matches.
If I had to describe Rhett, I would define him as someone who plays phenomenally within a pretty broad comfort zone. But Huck literally is outside even that. I mean, against someone like MVP, who's not really doing a lot of aggression or attacking, Rhett is able to win 2-1. Against someone like Huck, who's already being very aggressive with this probe, who knows the timing so sharply that even with a maneuver like this, can manage to catch up and do a whole model of waypoints there.
Oh, and I like that.
Oh, yep. The usual timing for Rhett, he's just going to send his first drone.
He might do that fake that he was doing before, where he doesn't build here, and then he sends the other drone out. Oh, yeah, I love that move. It's actually so smart. He was doing it all last weekend. And, it makes perfect sense, right? Because if it somehow gets blocked there and they don't put the pylon down, great, build it the 3rd.
Easy peasy, Parcheesi. Meanwhile, looks like Huck is going for the Forge, followed by the Gate Away. I love the fact that he's delaying. He might even build the pylon for the 18th supply count before he builds the cannon. That's becoming increasingly common, though we do see that Rhett does have a done hatch in terms of lings in the unit station. We see the 4 are on the map, moving around, scouting those skirts, those edges, trying to find this one little scouting obnoxious Peruber.
Yeah, and he's way over on the other side. But there goes, there he does put the cannon down there as he's now sitting at 1826 supply. And 3rd hatch is going to go down. It looks like I see a drone over there, and it does. It goes down. So Rhett, we talk a lot about Rhett's capabilities once he gets all those drones, and he gets up to that level where, he just becomes a macro machine. Now, one of the things that really was setting Rhett apart in a lot of his EVPs as of, nearing the end of the, of course, beverage training land was the whole concept of getting that hive as quickly as possible and almost controlling space with Roachling and then immediately going for the very quick infester, which I expect to see lair soon, quick infestation pit, and then eventually the climb to Birdlords.
I mean, let's talk about some key timings in this matchup. Traditionally, the way the ordering of the matchup goes is that we have something like the Protoss can really do some first stage aggression between 7:30 and 9:15. That's a pretty specific window where we'll end up seeing those warp gate plays come out. Average Zerg player ends up getting speed roaches, his lair finished around 9:15, 9:30. He has a roach warren done earlier on, so that way he can defend with roaches. But the big key period in traditional Zerg vs Protoss play was between 12 and 15 minutes. That's when the Zerg had a fairly large Roach Hydra army, could begin getting Corruptors to apply that pressure, and it was around 17, the juncture right as Broodlords were beginning, that the average Zerg player would lose to that maxed Colossus army push.
Right.
So what is Rhett doing? He's going to be, instead of relying on Roach Hydra for the mid game, he's going to rely on Infestor Ling with some Roaches if need be. You're going to see him get all the Roach upgrades. Look at this, already getting double extractor at 6 minutes. The Roach Warren, I've literally discussed this timing with Rhett so many times. He will be getting that layer as quickly as he can. He will be getting speed, and the instant he's feeling safe, he will immediately throw down that infestation pit, throw spine crawlers down at around 11:30, and be heading for a hive at 13.
Now, one of the things that is going to be really interesting here is that, of course, the concept of the third, it takes a long time to spread that creep. It's going to be a huge target. It's got a huge target on its back, and with all these gateways, we got 5 in base and then 1 at the front for 6 total. Now, the scouting probe has already built a pylon. No, I actually don't see a pylon across the map. So
great play right here by Huck. The
it.
Double Stalker to defend this single probe. It's very easy for a couple Lings to pick it off with ease, but Huck continuing to just drive forward. Look at this swift timing. He will have everything done by 8 minutes. Not as fast as the 7:45 warp-in that we see Naniwa do, but you can only afford 4 gates with that. Huck's been doing a very good job with that econ management at 42 workers, and here comes the 6th Zealot warp-in.
Yeah, it's going to happen right over by that third. Going to make it extremely difficult. There are 6 Roaches on the way. Oh, the pylon is spotted by those slow Lings. 2 Stalkers going to come in from the back. Where's the warp-in? There they are.
Gosh, that was much later than it should have been. 15 seconds too late, and now we see the Roaches already in production. And oh, he built drones at the expansion rather than Roaches. This is the exact way that Huck defeated Rhett in the MLG Winter Arena.
Yeah, and the Roaches do make their way over there now that the creep has been spread. But will he be able to defend this off? The drones, he moved the drones all in the right position, but the Zealots taking most of the damage. The Stalker's relatively unhurt here.
Unbelievable. Already advancing forward. Did he get Ling speed? It looks like, no, he did not. He is committed to pretty much only Roaches at this point. And oh, what a tragedy. Did not expand that creep early enough as he needs to at that third to deal with these warp-ins.
Yeah, and the Queen went down as well. The Roaches are starting to come out even more. 10 Lings, 4 Roaches. But he can kite, and with the Zealots coming in, that'll make a nice little meat wall for him to defend with. Those Stalkers, their life expectancy is a little short, but man, they have certainly been helping out. The drones have to be pulled here. This is definitely not the situation Rhett wants to be in. He's got higher supply, but most of that is in drones.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about the fact that if LiquidRet holds this off, which it looks more and more and more like he will, he is behind Protoss tremendously in that worker count. And look at production. You'll see 2 probes sneaking out for Huck every once in a while. Here comes Rep, the macro Zerg, able to break down the wall, but oh, the damage has already been done. Look back at the natural Marcus. 2 of these assimilators are going down. The economic lead very much so in EGHuk's favor.
More Stalkers coming in here, and we did see Rhett try to send a couple Lings into the main base a while ago, but so far he's had to really allocate all of the resources to the attack on this third. And, he can't really build drones there, so having an excess of drones means that one of his other bases is probably a little oversaturated, and he's just had to build nothing but units. I've seen nothing but Lings and Roaches pretty much ever since we saw those 5 drones pop at the third.
Oh, and that is a big sigh of relief for LiquidRet as he does manage to take down that one single pylon. But look at this, 39 probes to 55, or 39 drones to 55 probes, unheard of at this stage. We see the layer just now starting. Horrific position. Rhett desperately needs to begin all these geysers, but keep in mind, the one benefit he also has, this Twilight Council and Robo is very delayed. A large enough window exists where he can still get the key infestor timing he needs.
Yeah, in fact, this group is still going to come up here, and Huck's going to do his best to just micro to as many Zerg kills as he possibly can. Probe was spotted going up to the third, but I believe there's already a Zergling up there just waiting to munch away on that juicy probe. More units do come in. He will defend from the front, but more or less that was just Rhett needing to draw that army all the way back to his own base. And you can see the Roaches now moving back. But, I mean, like you said, the late lair, there was hardly that many drones actually on the third as well. That means his gas is going to be a little bit off how he would like to. But the lair will finish. He'll likely put down his infestation pit. But the third's going up for Huck. That'll be a dangerous point. It looks like he's got something down here. Is that a probe down there as well?
Oh, gosh. Huck is so masterful at this. I mean, I can't believe it. Dark Shrine going up. Warp Prism. Huck on point. through and through getting +2, neglecting to get Blink at this point in time, doesn't really see it suitable as a transition. He's rather getting Immortals and Force Fields. There's the Extractors going down, and again, a near instant Infestation Pit upon the completion of that layer.
Why put the Infestation Pit right there? I'm not sure that I totally
Odd
agree
position.
with that.
Yeah, I mean, very much so a, what base am I looking at to grab a drone, build it? He may come to regret that. The only way that he's going to come out on top, Wheat, is if he builds this expansion here fast.
Right.
He needs to spread the creep.
Right.
The creep spread is abysmal. Rhett realizes it and is scrambling to catch up.
I mean, the thing that's kind of scary is, like, can we just survey around Rhett's base and see if there's any sort of detection at this point in time? Because one or two spawned-in DTs can just wreak havoc. And I don't see any spores. I don't see any overseers. Here's a quick little attack, but as the cannons finish up,
oh no, Marcus.
He's going to what? Warp, load, go into the base, warp another round in, and again, no detection anywhere for Rhett.
Oh, a Zealot. 2 Zealots, a DT moving forward.
Okay, indecisive Warp Prism.
The identity crisis finally concludes with a transport Warp Prism as he decides to move forward, and it looks like he is already getting ready to get set up. Look at that energy on that Queen 67, uncharacteristic sloppiness by Rhett. And now the Warp In, what will be the Warp In choice? All Zealots all the time.
Yeah, and we do see that early Hive, even though we did see Rhett behind a little bit. A lot of Zealots are coming in here. Where are the units to respond? Do we have any Overseers being more...
oh no. Half health. Where are the Infestors? The Infestors are under construction right now. Dark Templar being morphed in, and it looks like EGHuk just going to load up and head home, perhaps?
I don't know. I think he warped in 2 more DTs, and then he put it... Oh, my gosh. Okay, there he comes to respond to the pylon and the probe. Oh! He blocked.
And in the main, the DTs re-unload. Oh, he is going to lose everything in his main. The expansion will fall as well. A killer blow coming out by LiquidRet.
If the Hive goes down. Oh, if the Hive goes down, it's going to be so bad.
And it does go down, and it looks like the layer tech is going to be the only choice for Rhett, as he does have Infestation Pit and Spire up. A great goop up by that single Infestor, but yet again, it looks like the ninja aggro style of Huck is a little bit too much for Rhett to handle. And see you later, Spire. Can he cancel? No, his focus is too split. This bottom expansion still under a ton of pressure. 3-pronged attack by EGHuk, an absolute display of brilliance.
Oh my god, I mean, I love it when DTs come in at that point, because you know what? You set yourself up for Archons, but more importantly, if you catch your opponent without that detection, look at the type of havoc that you can wreak. And even with the extra base up, I mean, the main is completely thwarted now. He's going to lose his Roach War and his pool, everything else in there.
And
there's
a good game. A brutal game for LiquidRet. This map, quite difficult for a Protoss to be able to kill a LiquidRet style, but Huck, ingenious play, start to finish.
That is what you have to do versus a guy like Rhett, though, right? Mm-hmm. You let him get that 3rd up, maybe the 4th, and then that middle base, and he can defend it. That's a tough thing to fight into. At that point, then maybe you do have to go to the Mothership, Vortex, get the Archons in there, try to stop that Broodlord force. So I feel like Huck did everything right in order to just directly counter Rhett. So for this one, first off, I expect Rhett to take a map that he can, do that, where he knows that he can defend a 3rd, get his drone count up really high, and then, have that luxury of getting that earlier Hive, fend off any sort of aggression. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's really a question of Rhett doing the tiniest of adjustments, because it's the difference between saving that 3rd and losing it with ease. If Rhett had creep spread outward, if he had 2 creep tumors worth of creep, suddenly the Roaches have the speed advantage over Stalkers and Zealots on creep. True. He doesn't need Zergling speed as much, but there was just such a limited range. The Stalkers could shoot from off creep to that hatchery, and that was just far too difficult for Rhett to be able to handle. And then what after that? He can just get Zergling speed a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the problem that Rhett is seeing is that he's so used to just thwarting that attack, because he's getting such an early Roach Warren. I mean, he's getting like a 6-minute Roach Warren. That's insane.
Right.
And then he's okay. But, I mean, Huck identifies that and went, oh, cool. 6 Warp Gates, 6 Stalkers, and it was just
it's one of those trade-offs that the Zergs have because they decide to get their speed so late, which has become really, really popular. definitely a style that's been adapted by a lot of Zergs out there. The super duper late gas and the super late speed, and you know that's a trade-off. You know how you deal with it. Well, what do we got? Metalopolis.